a lot of investment is done when we are looking at orphans who are younger. But where things go wrong is people don't plan for that time, particularly in institutions which are registered with the government, that there will be a day when these children are going to be asked to leave that home, that orphanage, whatever name we want to describe it. As long as those children came to that place through social welfare, there will be a day they will be asked to leave. This is when a lot of things do go wrong. All that investment comes to naught. The cycle of poverty is repeated. Because suddenly this child who has known nothing in terms of where is the food going to come from, who's going to pay for my fees, rentals, who's paying rent, who's paying electricity. Suddenly the child now has to think about those things. The child has to start planning for rentals. The child has to start thinking, where am I going to stay? And painfully, who am I in all this? If we don't plan for aging out children, we really are planning to fail. We are planning to repeat the cycle of poverty. There is the careful domains of aging out orphans, which I want to maybe reiterate or make them relevant to our community. 5 things which people need to think about, 5 things which Christians need to think about, 5 things whoever is supporting orphan work need to think about. More so for children who are in institutions. Number 1 is the issue of life skills. It's a big issue if you put out somebody from a home where everything is done for them and they have no skills. In some cases, some of them don't even have skills to walk around the city, walk around town. They have no skills to say, no, I'm not going to do that. A boy comes to you and says, I will marry you, and all sorts of things. How do you handle things like that? They need skills. They need, I don't know what they want to call them, soft skills, and there's skills to survive, handling money, making decisions. Remember, they've spent years in an environment where everything is done for them. Suddenly, they have to be making those decisions themselves. They've grown up in an environment where if they were not helped, they feel entitled that the world owes me. Unfortunately, the world does not owe them anything. They've grown in an environment where, there's some responsibilities, but they are limited. Suddenly, they need to be responsible for self, for your own health, and all sorts of things. Now, if they don't have skills to handle that, beginning of trouble. So, number 1, skills. Number 2, it's career development. So, the skills and career development can be packaged as one. What is it? Is it farming skills? Is it carpentry skills? Is it whatever it is? Some of it starts early. The discussions should start early. There are others who are academic, who can go all the way to university and things like that. But they need proper career guidance, okay? In an environment where employment is limited, where there are very few opportunities, it is a waste of money to do things which don't get those young people employable, it's a problem. So if they are going to do whatever, they must do something that gives them an opportunity to get employed. So lots of career guidance is required. It might mean getting these young people to go work in some Christian factories, connect with some Christians. So that takes me to the next thing: mentorship and spiritual guidance. Okay, so they will need mentors. They will need people to look up to. Remember, some of them don't know a proper family structure: mother, father, siblings, and things like that. Now, if we are expecting that they can have their own family someday, now there's mentorship towards that. There's mentorship towards a career. There's mentorship, life skills. They will need mentors. Within the local church, some people need to offer themselves to be mentors to these young people, and model Christianity in the marketplace. Model Christianity in areas which the children may not have even thought of, that actually somebody can be a Christian. They can live Christ-likeness in all these places. The next thing is the church support. Okay, that community, the children will require connection with the community, the church. It's very important. I mean, in all aspects, whether psychosocial, whatever it is, they will need to remain connected to the church. And in some cases, the church will need to rent places for them. If there is no halfway house, they will need to rent places for them, so that these young people remain connected somehow to the church. Now, where resources are available, people can talk about a transitional housing where they can stay while they adjust to the post-home environment. Now, but where that is not available, so I mentioned that the church can rent for them some housing somewhere, or some families will need to take them in, okay? They are mentors and stuff like that, so that they are helped. Friends, if we think through these things and do them right, we will not have this poverty cycle where our children keep failing when they age out. But there is a strong support system from the church, mentorship, to encourage. And one of the things which I keep telling some of my friends that demonstrates that we have done well is when those young people come back to the home or institution or orphanage and say, well, God has been good to me. I now have a job somewhere. I just thought I want to come back and support my little brothers and sisters who I left at the home. Once you see that, because now this young person is demonstrating responsibility, that they are also responsible to their little brothers and sisters. But if they don't come back, then you know you didn't do a good job. Something fell apart. Thank you.